Yeah, okay, I got it. Ay, I don't wanna lose your top spot. And now she doubt, but I'm better without it. Ay, yeah, gotta toughen up that soft spot. Somebody got it and had it and lost it. Ay, yeah, cause I was coming for the top spot. And I had doubt, but I'm better without it. Ay, yeah, I ain't got no soft spot.
What's up, Bizzo? You good, bro?
What's up, bro? I'm good, and you?
I'm good.
Good.
For those who don't know you, bro, can you just please do like a small introduction of who you are and like...
Sure.
Bizzo?
Yeah. It's a question I ask myself every day.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, my name is Biden. Most people know me in the dance scene as Bizzo. I'm a b-boy representing 031 Floor Assassins and Concrete Apostles internationally. I've been at this for about 16, 17 years now, coming out of Wentworth, which is a bit of a rough area near the bluff, but also it builds character, which has definitely helped me on this dance journey I've been on.
So like Bizzo, I mean, you have done so much. There's a lot of things that you have done. Like you're one of my favorite people, actually, to be honest.
Thank you.
So like, what is like has been like a challenge for you as a break dancer in Durban? Like, what has been something that has been like such a huge obstacle for you to overcome? Like, because I'm sure there's certain things that you want to achieve, but like since you're in Durban, you know, there's no.
Yeah. Where do I start? There's so many challenges in Durban. I mean, I guess it depends on what you're trying to achieve. In terms of, myself, I consider myself a battle b-boy, whereby you get some guys who focus more on the performance and the art side of it, and they build shows which we invest in, but I fully invest in the battle aspects, the competitions, the trophies, the titles. And the biggest challenge staying in Durban is staying relevant, man. Being relevant in a scene that seems to have forgotten you. Durban has never had a huge hip-hop crowd, a huge hip-hop following, at least not for the past, 13, 14 years. So to stay relevant in an environment that sees you as insignificant, it's really challenging. You've got to compare yourself to things which you can't physically see. You have to compare yourself to standards you've imagined. That's what you use for your motivation. That's what you use for your ambition, your drive. I would say staying relevant and also inspiring the next generation. The media. There was a time a couple of years ago where hip hop dance was shined upon heavily by the media. You had movies like You Got Served and Step Up and so on. So it was a hip thing, I could say, to be a hip hop dancer. And being a hip hop dancer came along with the b-boying came along with that. B-boying is the original hip hop dance. So yeah, once that hype died, to generate an interest in it, it's not like the old days. Now everybody's interested in. It's a different generation, I can say. So it's harder to grasp their attention and to steer them onto the same path that we were on. So yeah, I think those are the two biggest challenges that we face here.
So I mean, as you just said now, that it's different generations, and like what have kept you going for so long? Like what had made you so relevant? Because as you said, that there's been obstacles to be relevant. Like what have you been doing? And like what the consistency basically, like what makes you the drive, what keeps you going as Bizzo, like what keeps you at it, you know?
I would have to say I hate losing. I hate losing. A lot of people, like this comes up a lot when we discuss how we train. So some guys can train on their own. Some guys wait for the crew to get together. Some guys only train just before battles. Myself personally, I always thrived around other people. Like I would always push harder when there was other people there to kind of measure myself against, if I can say that. So that feeling of it doesn't matter who you are, I won't lose to you. That's what's driven me, whether it be even in theater shows. If we're doing choreography, my choreography is going to be the best. If I'm competing, my moves are going to be the best. To the point where it's cost me heavily on my body, a lot of injuries, pushed my body way past its limits too many times. But I think it boils down to the love of the art. You love thriving in this environment. You love prospering. You love growing within this dance. I think that's what helps me stay relevant the most.
Shut up. Like I remember, you had like an injury. Like, how did that make you feel? Because most people, when they actually have to go through such a thing, they opt to always give up. You know, and what made you? Because I remember it was a huge process. I saw in your IG, like you kept coming back and you kept coming at it. You know, maybe what made you do that? Or what actually made you? Not necessarily anything else, or what your mom's saying, or anybody saying that hey, you've been hurt. Hey, don't stop that. Or like, what made you really say, you know what? I'm blocking everybody else's opinion, and I'm still sticking to what I'm doing.
If I'm being completely honest, it was never in question. It was never a case of should I stop now, or oh damn, I have to chill. It was more of something to work around instead of something to let hinder me or control me. The injury we're talking about is my ankle. It's actually both my ankles. What had happened was I broke my right one, but I was unaware it was broken. So it kind of healed. It wasn't a severe break. It was just the bone. And it healed broken. But while it was healing, I supported it too much on the good ankle. And that one ended up packing up even worse because of the strain. So that's both my ankles are basically in a mess. And that's the injury that I've been, almost want to say been blessed with, because I've had to rethink and reapproach so much, and that's helped me reinvent myself in so many ways. I've still been able to compete. I mean, as of now, I've had this injury for what? Almost 2 years now. And I'm still able to rank in the top 8 in the country. I'm still consistent, I'm still relevant. I'm nowhere near where I want to be. I'm nowhere near my best, I feel. But there was never any question of should I stop or should I relax. It was just how am I going to do it with this injury.
So like being Bizzo, what could you say it's like your highlight? Like your highly glorious moment. If somebody had to say, my nigga, I know my glorious moment, like what is your glorious moment? Like, okay, this day, my God, it changed everything for me. Like what was it? Competition, tournament, or battling, or traveling? Can be anything. Like what has been like the
this is a long story. What I'll do is I'll give you the highlights. Okay, so a couple years ago, myself and the crew Floor Assassins, we were invited to compete in Reunion Island, which is a French colonized island just off the coast. It's a few hours flight from Madagascar. So we were invited to compete there as part of the Indian Ocean tournament. So complications happened. We had visa complications. We had to head to Joburg for our visa application on Wednesday, and our flights were booked for the Friday. So the guys in Reunion said, look, we know people in the embassy and the people at the consulate who will be facilitating the visa application, but you have to get there. So we literally packed for the whole trip. And we flew to Joburg for our interview. After our interview, we scrambled to find a place to stay. We found a bed and breakfast. We packed up there for like a day and a half, and then we got the email that our visas are approved. So we're like, okay, cool. We fly out. Obviously, we were late because of the visa issues. Our visas were delayed. The other countries were all there already for like a week and a half. We got there the night before the competition. We settled in. The next day is the event. We literally were running on pure hype and adrenaline. And we ended up winning the event. It was a crew battle. I remember the speech I gave the crew. We huddled up just after we won the semi-finals, and I'm like, we didn't know we were going to make it this far. But now that we're this far, I didn't come here to lose. That was like the attitude we were going with. So we ended up winning. And then after the crew event, they announced, okay, now there's a one-on-one event for all the countries to throw a participant in. And we were already so stoked like that we won. We kind of half-heartedly joked about, okay, who's going to enter this? So the guy's like, okay, I should enter. So I'm like, okay, cool. I'll enter. There was literally nothing to lose situation. We had we're already the champions. This is just another, just another accomplishment. And I ended up smashing that whole event. After all the traveling, sleepless nights, strain, tough competition, and then the one-on-one ended up winning as well. Coming back after that, it was different. It was less, this is my art, and it was more, this is my life. Yeah, I would have to say that's my best moments that I can think of.
That's actually amazing, man. That's special.
Yeah,
special.
very.
Something special. Like I wanted to know, fam, like with what's going on in our country right now. Like, how do you think that affects like the people community? Like one and two, like I wanted to know as well. Where do you see the art itself, like people in Durban or in just South Africa in general, just put in one hat.
Yeah.
Do you see it prospering, or like what do you envision about it?
Well, with obviously this COVID virus that's hit us globally, a lot has been cancelled and new avenues have had to be opened. So what we've found is a lot of the events organizations and the big title or the big stakeholders in our international community they're going digital, whereby I'm sure you've seen it with crumping as well. Yes. Where you have like an IG battle or a Facebook battle. Personally, that is not for me. I cannot fake battle you. If I'm coming at you, I'm coming at you. We must be here. The energy must be in the room. It's an exchange. It's a conversation. I can't translate that through social media. But that's where the world is going, and it seems to have a positive impact on some. I know a lot of people who are too shy or too afraid to enter the big competitions or coming out of their shell because they're in the comfort of their own homes where they record their stuff and they send it through. So it looks like it's going a lot more digital, but I feel like that's more a coping mechanism and not a permanent solution. Yeah, the other plus side is b-boying has officially been accepted into the Olympics.
Are you serious?
100%. It's officially an Olympic sport. Yeah, it's that. I think it was skateboarding. There's a few extreme sports that were looked at as urban sports that are now officially Olympic sports. So we're in the process of generating committees, boards, and pretty soon we can end up with Olympic coaches, Olympic gyms, just for b-boying, Olympic curriculums, whereby we can translate form, structure, approach, so many things that is lost when people just see it for a few seconds in a music video or in a movie, and the misconception it hits them. And I think it's healthy that we have this opportunity because we can break so many stereotypes and misconceptions as well. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Shout out to that, bro. Like as lifestyle training, we I don't know if you have seen one of our episodes, but like the reason why the main objection we have these interviews is that the people that actually follow you need to actually understand that you're also a human being and you also go through things, because sometimes people like bypassing that or what they see. So for me, like, does it affect you that you are in a certain age now and you are still doing the art? Is it a good thing or is it a bad thing? Are you thinking of retiring? Are you thinking of hanging the belts? Are you thinking of carrying on, or now being more behind the scenes? Like, what is your take with all this? Because it's a very important thing. Because a lot of people are like some of us didn't go to school, some of us didn't do those things, and this is actually literally our lives. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like how does that affect you as a person?
That's a really good question. I've been playing around with it a lot in my head of late. Life's crazy. You find yourself confused at some points, and then at another point, you realize that you never really needed to be confused. You just needed to be patient. I myself have been pulled in multiple directions, given the age that we're in right now, the age of social media, the age of you find a lot of people are independent younger. Like at a younger age, they're independent than they were back in the day. And what I mean by that is they found new avenues. like back in the day, there was no social media influencer. There was no just event promoter. There was no, like, people couldn't make livings off these things because it didn't exist. And obviously, getting older in an art form that doesn't seem so relevant with what the world is trying to push in people's faces, it's hard to stay committed. But I have my days, man. Like, some days I don't mind just training the kids. Other days I still want to be the guy that everybody knows me as. I've never had a day where I wanted to walk away, though. Like, I don't think I can. I've tried. I've tried to force myself. I didn't want to walk away, but I thought, you know what? You've done this long enough now. Life's gonna leave you behind. That didn't last long. It's not something you can.
Wake up and you say, ah.
Yeah, you can't leave something that is you. You know, it is who I am. So I think I just need to channel my energy appropriately. Because there will be an opportunity where I can still battle, but there'll also be an opportunity where I need to share, and I need to recognize those opportunities and give my utmost in both in order to stay relevant. Yeah.
Like I always want to know, because like in the Crumb community, sorry to bring this up, but like in the Crumb community, there's like juniors, littles. Like why don't you guys have that kind of feel as well? Like. Be a big homie to somebody, because being a big homie in Crump is just not only just a dance, you know. It's life in its own, you know. Like I think our kids, like kids that are coming up now, they need that kind of guidance. They need, especially in the dance, if they want to pursue what you guys want to pursue. Like have you ever thought about just recruiting someone like a Bizzo Junior, a little Bizzo, you know what I mean? Like carrying the legacy, you know.
I don't love myself enough to give someone else that name, but. But I would say, like, I have a basic understanding of how that works in the crumb scene, and that kind of happened naturally in a b-boy scene. What would happen is you would teach a group of people, and someone would latch on. Someone would take more initiative than the rest, and it was never a spoken thing where like, okay, cool, you are my understudy now. It's just more a vibe. Like, this person would watch you. Even when you're unaware of it. I've had this experience a few times, both locally and internationally, when teaching. You'd get someone who'd watch you and try to imitate you so much that you'd end up seeing yourself in their dance without even purposefully trying to impact that or impart that knowledge with them. Like, I could teach basic movements and they'd end up doing it exactly the way I do it for years to come. And it kind of, the system is in place, but not intentionally. It's just something that evolved naturally from people who are passionate about the dance and want to grasp all the knowledge they can. Yeah.
All right, shout out. Last question, man. Question. I don't wish you waste your time. I just wanted to know, like, what's next for you as Bizzo? Like, as you said that you did mention that you did like regroup yourself, restructure yourself, know what to work with. Like, what's next for you? As a break dancer, like, well, it's a very tough question, huh?
It is, because right now we're unaware of where the world is going. So
that's true.
It's hard for me to say to speculate my position in an environment that I'm unaware of. I know personally it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. It's just we have to kind of ride it out and see what the world allows for and see how we can fit in. Like right now, I'm still working on myself personally, trying to grow. I'm getting a few more studies under my belt. I'm educating myself. I own a business. But the b-boying aspect, that's always going to be there. Whether it be me training every day for the rest of this lockdown, just by myself, or waiting for the right opportunity to get out there and maybe do an online interview, an online class. I've done one already for Verb. But if more of those come around, I'm happy to share. But also I think it's important to not rush, especially in this day and age. There's a time and place for everything. If we can show patience and maturity and just have a bit of self-reflection, grow yourself in this time. I feel like this is kind of like a global meditation period where it's like, okay, everything's on pause. Focus on yourself. Grow yourself. Come out more hungry. Come out more driven, more ambitious. Reinvent you, because it kind of felt like everything was so clustered together before this lockdown happened, before the virus hits. Everything was so rushed. If it wasn't one thing, it was the next, and you had to be in 10 different places with 10 different views all at once. Now everybody can kind of just take a step back, remember who they are, what their goals are, and who they're trying to be within the art that they've chosen or within the walk that they've chosen. And yeah, I feel like it's a good time to just reflect, be patient, and wait and see where you can fit in and apply yourself. Yeah.
Shout out. So yeah, like where can people find you, dude? Like, yeah.
Oh.
Social media platforms.
Okay, I'm active on multiple fronts. Right now I'm taking this lockdown period as a chance to fully pursue my DJ career as well.
Oh, yeah.
So you can find me, my personal IG page is Bizzo_031, so that's BIZZO_031. Or you can find me at the Soup SA, which is our DJ collective, pushing boundaries.
Shout out.
Away.
Shout out. Thank you so much.
Yeah, okay, I got it. Ay, yeah. I don't wanna lose your top spot. And now she thought, but I'm better without it. Ay.